it's Amina here. Today we are doing a very exciting thing. We are going to do something I've been actually planning for about a couple of weeks now, but I just couldn't find time. I'm going on a tour of a couple of independent bookstores in New York City, but specifically in Lower Manhattan plus the West Village. I'm really excited for also doing the same thing in Brooklyn or maybe also in the Queens, because I've researched and I found so many cool bookstores, and a lot of the really cool ones are located in those boroughs of New York. But I think taking one step is more than not taking any. So today we're going in Manhattan. I really hope I can hit all three that I have on my list for today before it gets dark and before they close. So with that being said, let's go. Got my jacket because it's chilly outside, my tote bag, and we're off.
Sunny June, I heard the birds were singing, but I tossed and turned, a feeling I can't explain. No girl in town told me why she have to look my way. Wanted to throw some paper, get drunk with my friends, do some damage to my brain. But then she came along, one smile and I felt why do I gotta be so lucky? Why'd you have to be so pure? Question all my good intentions, but with you, oh, I'm so sure. Tasted the fruit and smelled the flowers, just better not, and girl, I'm yours. Cause in the garden, that's your skin, I'll be dreaming, that's for sure. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why, tell me why you've been on my mind. Won't you stay, won't you stay, won't you stay, won't you stay just one more night? When you're there, the despair is nowhere to be found, and that's all my life. And I'm well aware that I can't keep you, so I'll dream about you. Blessing from above, what I do to deserve it. The money, the time, and the hurt, and you worth it. And I'll show you my world if you show me yours too. Nothing lasts forever, that's just an excuse. Your name is a drug that I wanna abuse. Shoot up by my side, to tango, it takes two. Love is a game, but baby, it's your name too. So every time I'm falling, I'll think about you. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why, tell me why you've been on my mind. Won't you stay, won't you stay, won't you stay, won't you stay just one more night? When you're there, the despair is nowhere to be found, and that's all my life. And I'm well aware that I can't keep you, so I'll dream about you. Sunny June, I heard the birds were singing, but I tossed and turned, a feeling I can't explain. No girl in town told me why she have to look my way. Wanted to throw some paper, get drunk with my friends, do some damage to my brain. But then she came along, one smile and I felt why do I gotta be so lucky? Why'd you have to be so pure? Question all my good intentions, but with you, oh, I'm so sure. Tasted the fruit and smelled the flowers, just better not, and girl, I'm yours. Cause in the garden, that's your skin, I'll be dreaming, that's for sure. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why, tell me why you've been on my mind. Won't you stay, won't you stay, won't you stay, won't you stay just one more night? When you're there, the despair is nowhere to be found, and that's all my life.
Guess what? I bought a book. Yeah, I did. I bought a book. Sue me. I went to 3 bookstores. I could not buy a book, and I did not do it because it matched with my outfit. Definitely not. Anyway, it's another day. I'm wearing the same shirt just because I wanted to show you that we're matching, kinda. Different tonalities, but pink regardless. Yesterday was so fun. It was a really great experience being able to move around through 3 different bookstores that seemingly share the same purpose of, you know, presenting books to an audience and selling books, but are doing so in such different ways. For instance, the first bookstore, the Bluestocking's Cooperative bookstore in Lower East Side, was really, in my opinion, was really centered around queer theory and gender theory. There were a lot of books on social issues and civil rights issues, hence they had a lot of nonfiction. I also really loved the layout of the bookstore. It had a lot of like really cool murals, as you probably saw. I took a couple of shots of those. Really cool. I think they were painted by hand and not just like plastered on the walls, which was a really nice touch. And the bookstore had a really nice feel to it, very cozy. And then the second bookstore, which was McNally Jackson Books in Soho, completely different vibe. It almost had some sort of like modern, kind of industrial style. Not really, kind of gave me that feeling, but very different from Bluestocking's Cooperative bookstore, which was more like low-key, whereas McNally Jackson gave me like a very, I want to be sophisticated kind of vibe, but also with kind of like wooden touches. And then the third bookstore, if we're still on the topic of comparing styles, which was 3 Lives and Company, had a more kind of like a mid-century modern feel, a lot of wood, very kind of enclosed spaces rather than like enlarged and airy spaces like the second bookstore had. So very interesting to see how people use space in different ways to make sure that they represent whatever architectural style they want their bookstore to have the feel of. But anyway, it was really cool. So back to the second bookstore, McNally Jackson Books. I absolutely loved that one. There was like a railing, like a staircase, and you can go on the top floor. Very small area, but really nice. And there was a table and a chair, and a woman was sitting there like working or doing something. Maybe she was working at the bookstore, but I don't know. It felt really nice, and you can admire the entirety of the ground floor from that top floor. You can just like, perfect place to people watch, perfect. And if I love anything, it's people watching. So it was really nice, and the selection of books was really cool, and that was where I got the book that I'm gonna talk about a little bit later. And also, I fell in love with some of the notebooks in that bookstore. Exquisite. Very expensive, but very good. And then the third bookstore was 3 Lives and Company in the West Village. Very different, again, as I said, very different architecturally, and it kind of had a different feel to it, more homey kind of, again, because of the wooden accents and the way the bookstore is kind of assembled. It was a much smaller space, which was really cute and cozy. But yeah, I had a very nice selection of books again, but as opposed to the second bookstore that I also really like their selection of like fiction specifically. I just feel like I've never heard the book names that I've seen in 3 Lives and Company. Just like, it seemed very new to me, which was really exciting. I kept reading through the blurbs and really getting excited. I took photos of so many books that I want to put on my list of things that I want to read. I should stop. Anyway, yeah, so that was my experience. It was really cool. I really want to see more maybe used bookstores. I love the Strand for that. The Strand has a really cool system where you can get the same book, the used version of the same book, so that you don't buy a new one, which I love to do. That's how I got this book right here, which is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, that I still have to read. I haven't read that one. It has a couple of tears, but I think it's pretty good shape. I don't mind a couple of tears here and there. That's the books are supposed to do. You're supposed to use them. So for me, it's like, even if it's underlined, even if it has like underlined pages, I don't mind that. I think that's what books are supposed to serve for. So yeah, anyway, to the thing we're all excited for, the book that I got. I don't know if anybody got a hint from the cover, but it is a book that I've wanted to read for a very long time because I've kept hearing so many good things about it. I was choosing from 3 books, and I just did it at random. I just put like 1, 2, 3, and whatever. It was a very random selection because I just couldn't choose. And I knew I had a budget for 1 book. I was choosing between this book, Severance by Ling Ma, and Rent Boy by Gary Indiana. Rent Boy is a book that I kept seeing everywhere, like everywhere in every bookstore that I would go. Not just today, not just yesterday, but at any point, like in Strand and other bookstores that I've been to. And I was like, okay, this book is calling to my name. I need to go get it. But I just wasn't meant to be for yesterday. So the book that I got is Bunny by Mona Awad. I am so excited to read this book. I'm just gonna read you the blurb so that you know what it's about if you don't. So it says, a scholarship student who prefers the company of her dark imagination to that of most people, Samantha Heather McKay, is utterly repelled by the rest of her graduate fiction writing cohort at New England's elite Warren University, a clique of unbearably saccharine yet sinister rich girls who call each other Bunny and seem to move and speak as one. But everything changes when Samantha receives an invitation to the Bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, ditching her only friend Ava in the process. As Samantha plunges deeper and deeper into the Bunny's world and begins to take part in their monstrous experiments, the edges of reality begin to blur. Soon, her friendships with Ava and the Bunnies will be brought into deadly collision. I mean, I know what this book is about, okay? This blurb does not give away the actual gruesomeness of what they do. But yeah, it's basically a book about these girls who kill boys. Anyway, I am absolutely excited. I think I've said excited more times than I could count on my fingers, on my palm. Can you stop? I'm sorry, it's just crazy New York today. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.